There was a man named Ronald Reed. He lived a simple life. To most people, he was just a janitor. He fixed cars at a gas station for 25 years. Then he swept floors at J.C. Penney for another 17 years. He wore flannel shirts and drove a used car. No one would have guessed his secret. When he passed away at the age of 92, the world was stunned. This humble janitor had amassed a fortune of over $8 million. How did he do it? He did not invent a new product. He did not start a global corporation. He did not inherit a family fortune. His secret was simple, yet so powerful that most people overlook it their entire lives. He saved what little he could. He invested it. Ronald Reed did not rely on a paycheck to make him rich. He understood a fundamental truth that my rich dad taught me. A paycheck is for paying bills. It is for survival. It is what the poor and middle class work for all their lives. But it will never make you wealthy. Wealth comes from something else. It comes from owning assets. Ronald Reed quietly bought shares in solid blue-chip companies. He bought what he knew. He was just a patient man who understood the power of ownership. Many people believe that the only way to get truly rich is to start a business. They dream of becoming the next Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. They see the glamour, the fame, and the massive fortunes. The media celebrates the successful entrepreneur. What they don't show you is the reality for the other 99%. The sleepless nights, the overwhelming stress, and the crushing weight of responsibility. They don't show you the businesses that fail, the dreams that crumble into dust, and the personal savings that vanish into thin air. Starting a business is not a path to wealth. It is a high-stakes gamble. My rich dad was a successful entrepreneur, but I saw firsthand the price he paid. He faced constant challenges, employee problems, government regulations, ruthless competition. He used to say, "The difference between a successful entrepreneur and a failed one is the ability to get knocked down 10 times and get up 11. This is why I say that entrepreneurship is not for everyone, and that is okay. You do not have to take on that level of risk to achieve financial freedom. There is another way, a path that is more accessible, less risky, and available to anyone willing to learn. It is the path of the investor. An investor does not need to create a product, hire employees, or manage a complex organization. An investor simply buys a piece of a business that someone else has already built. When you buy a share of a company like Apple or Coca-Cola, you become a part owner. You own a tiny fraction of their factories, their patents, their brand, their profits. You are leveraging the genius, the hard work, and the global infrastructure of thousands of other people. You are an owner, and that is the true secret to building wealth. Think about your daily life. You wake up and brush your teeth with Colgate toothpaste. You have a cup of Nescafe coffee. You check your phone, made by Samsung or Apple. You drive to work in a Ford or Toyota, on tires made by Goodyear. One of the biggest lies the financial world tells you is that you need a lot of money to start investing. This is a myth created to keep the poor and middle class out of the game. The truth is, you can start your journey to becoming an owner with very little money. Today, with modern technology, the barriers to entry have been completely destroyed. You can buy a fraction of a share of a major company for as little as $5. The amount you start with is not what matters. What matters is that you start. The habit of investing is far more important than the initial amount. Think of it like building a brick wall. The first brick you lay may seem insignificant, but then you lay another brick, and another. I know a young woman who worked as a waitress. Her paychecks were not large, and most of her income came from tips. After reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, she decided she wanted to be an owner. She downloaded a brokerage app on her phone. Every single day after her shift, she took just $10 from her tips and used it to buy a fractional share of an S&P 500 index fund. But she was not spending it, she was planting it. That small daily habit changed her life. That $10 a day habit transformed her from a worker who lived paycheck to paycheck into a budding investor on the path to financial freedom. Ownership is the dividing line between the rich and everyone else. The poor and middle class work for money. The rich own the assets that everyone else works for or gives their money to. When you have a job, you are selling your time, your most precious and finite resource. You can only work so many hours in a day. Your income is capped. You are on a treadmill. But when you own an asset, a stock, a piece of real estate, a business. That asset works for you around the clock. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't take vacations. It generates income while you sleep. This is the fundamental difference in mindset. My poor dad always worried about his paycheck and his pension. My rich dad, however, focused on the asset column. He taught me to look at the world through the lens of an owner. When I see a successful new apartment complex, I don't just think, that's a nice place to live. I think, who owns that? Let's take a simple example. Imagine you love coffee and buy a $5 cup from Starbucks every day. That's about $1,825 a year that flows from your pocket to the company. You are a good customer. Now imagine instead you took that same $1,825 and bought Starbucks stock. You are no longer just a customer, you are an owner. Now, every time someone buys a cup of coffee in New York, London, Tokyo, a tiny fraction of that profit flows back to you. Getting started is simpler than you think. The first step is not about picking the perfect stock. It is about education. You must first invest in your financial literacy. Read books, listen to podcasts, watch videos, learn the language of money. Learn the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Your house is not an asset if you are paying a mortgage on it. Your car is not an asset. These are liabilities. A rental property that generates positive cash flow is an asset. A dividend-paying stock is an asset. Understand this difference, and you are already ahead of most people. Once you have a basic understanding, the next practical step is to open a brokerage account. This used to be a complicated process that involved paperwork and high fees. Today you can do it on your smartphone in less than 10 minutes. There are many reputable, low-cost brokerage firms that cater to beginners. Opening the account is a powerful psychological step. It is your declaration to the world and to yourself that you are now officially in the game. You are no longer just a spectator. You are a player. Albert Einstein once called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. Compound interest is simply your money earning money. Then that new money earning even more money. It is a snowball effect. Your army of dollars doesn't just bring back prisoners. Those prisoners become soldiers themselves. It is an exponential growth engine. It can turn small, regular investments into a massive fortune. It is the secret weapon of the patient investor. Let's imagine you invest $100. Two friends, both 25. Friend 1. Susan starts investing $300 a month at 25. She invests for 10 years, total $36,000, then stops. She leaves the money invested. Friend 2, Bill waits until 35. He invests $300 a month for 30 years until 65. He invests $108,000, 3 times Susan. At 8% average, who has more at 65? The answer is Susan. By a lot. The power is time. The biggest obstacle that stands between you and financial freedom is not the economy. It's not Wall Street. It's not a lack of money. The biggest obstacle is the 6 inches between your ears. It is your own fear, your doubt, and lack of financial education. The system has trained you to be afraid of investing. You hear stories about people losing everything in the stock market. The news media loves to broadcast fear and panic whenever the market goes down. They want you to be scared. They want you to stay on the sidelines, safely in your low-paying savings account, while the rich get richer by buying assets when everyone else is selling. Fear is a powerful emotion. The fear of losing money is real. My poor dad was paralyzed by it. My rich dad also felt fear, but he responded differently. He saw risk not in investing, but in not investing. He saw the risk in relying on a single paycheck. He saw the risk in letting inflation destroy his savings. He taught me that being an investor is not about eliminating risk, but about managing it. And the best way to manage risk is through education. The more you learn, the less you fear. To overcome these internal obstacles, change your context and your associations. Your mind is like a computer. The quality of the output depends on the quality of the input. You stand at a crossroads. You can continue down the path that most people take, the path of the worker. You can work hard for 40 years trading your precious time for a paycheck. This is a life built on hope, and hope is not a strategy. It is a life of financial fragility, where one unexpected event, a job loss, a medical emergency, can shatter your world. Or you can choose the other path, the path of the owner. This path is not about getting rich quick. It is about taking control of your financial destiny. It begins the moment you decide that your paycheck is no longer just for paying bills, but is a tool for building your asset column. It begins with your first $5 investment in an index fund. It is a path of discipline, education, and patience. It is the path where you stop working for money and start making your money work for you. On this path, you are not just hoping for a better future. You are actively building it, brick by brick, asset by asset. The financial freedom you dream of is not a fantasy reserved for entrepreneurs or the already wealthy. It is achievable for anyone who is willing to adopt the mindset of an owner. It is for you. The only thing missing is your decision to act.